Mystery Recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain a Japanese action thriller movie called Bullet Train Explosion. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The film begins in a train station in the Japanese city of Aomori, where a train conductor, Takaichi, greets some high school students on a school trip. Then they all board the train called Hayabusa number 60, where Takaichi meets the assistant conductor Fuji and guides him through the work. The train soon starts heading for Tokyo, and here we are introduced to several important passengers, including a female politician named Kagami, a YouTuber named Todoroki, and a high school student named Yuzuki, along with her homeroom teacher, Sakura. Shortly after, someone contacts the headquarters of the railway company and reveals shocking news, claiming that he has planted a bomb on the train that he just departed. The perpetrator says that the bomb will explode if the train's speed drops below 100 kilometers an hour, and to prove that the threat is real, he reveals that he has also planted a similar bomb on freight train number 2047 that will explode if its speed falls below 5 kilometers per hour. At first, the employees do not believe him, but as soon as they alert the station manager, the freight train suddenly explodes, leaving everyone shaken and horrified. This incident reminds everyone of the infamous Keanu Reeves movie Speed, and also the train number 109 case, which took place in almost the same way years ago. As panic spreads, the general manager of the railway headquarters orders all trains to be evacuated except Hayabusa number 60 and puts the chief of the command center in charge of handling the crisis. As the train continues moving forward, the command center informs the driver, Chika, that there is a bomb threat on board and instructs her not to reduce the speed below 100 kilometers an hour under any circumstances. They also speak with Takaichi and ask him not to reveal the bomb to the passengers and to bypass the next station due to operational issues. Following these instructions, Takaichi informs the passengers that the train will not be stopping at the next station and will pass through it instead. Meanwhile, the terrorist calls the command center and demands 100 billion yen in exchange for revealing how to defuse the bomb. The authorities say they do not have that much money, so the perpetrator says this is just 1,000 yen for every Japanese citizen and insists they collect the funds in any way possible. This leaves them in a desperate situation, just as the Prime Minister's assistant arrives and declares that they will not negotiate with terrorists. Back on the train, Takaichi informs everyone about the bomb threat, causing mass panic among the passengers. A passenger storms into the conductor's compartment to complain, so the female politician Kagami tries to calm him down. However, the passenger instead insults her and calls her a sugar mama, as it is revealed that Kagami was involved in a scandal years ago. But before things can escalate further, Takaichi steps in to resolve the situation. At the same time, the Prime Minister holds a press conference and makes it clear that the government will not negotiate with terrorists under any circumstances. This enrages the terrorist, so he now uploads a video showing the bombs he has planted. The explosives are fixed to the underside of the train and cannot be removed while it is moving at high speed. The video is broadcast across the country, including to the passengers on the train, causing even greater panic. As a result, the YouTuber Todoroki borrows a microphone from Fuji and addresses the passengers, claiming that the government does not care about them and that they are left to handle the situation on their own. He then announces a crowdfunding campaign to raise money for bomb defusal. He posts it on his profile, and the passengers begin sharing it widely, but it raises little money, leaving them frustrated. At the command center, the officials discuss the case and revisit a similar attempted train bombing from 50 years ago in 1975. This is the infamous 109 incident, and some of them begin to suspect that the two incidents may be connected. Meanwhile, on the train, some passengers recognize a man named Goto, the former president of an airline company. He is revealed to be the person responsible for crashing a poorly maintained helicopter into an elementary school, killing 8 children and making him one of the most hated men in the nation. Some passengers begin to believe he is the reason their crowdfunding campaign is not doing well, and they attack him while live streaming the entire incident online. During this, a desperate Goto asks the high school student Yuzuki, who is standing nearby, to press the emergency buzzer. All the passengers are terrified, believing that pressing it will trigger the bomb. A shaken Yuzuki presses it anyway, but it is soon revealed that the buzzer is actually just an intercom and only rings Takaichi's smartphone. Takaichi then carries the unconscious Goto to another room and asks a doctor on board to help keep him stable. At the command center, a detailed rescue plan for Train 60 is quickly prepared and put into action. As the train moves through Iwate Prefecture at high speed, Takaichi receives step-by-step instructions and relays them to the crew and electricians on board. In the first stage, a special high-speed train runs parallel to Train 60 at the same speed. Both trains are carefully synchronized synchronized so that tools and equipment can be transferred safely. A rope and pulley system is set up between crew compartments, allowing essential tools to be moved from one train to the other without stopping. Takaichi and several passengers help receive the equipment before the support train gradually pulls away. In the second stage, an electrician works inside Train 60 to adjust the electrical and brake systems so the emergency brakes don't activate during the operation. After that, the train is carefully separated into two parts by detaching the coupling between the two cars. This isolates the rear section, Car 9, where the bomb is located. After the disconnection is successful, Car 9 explodes while everyone watches in shock. In the final stage, a rescue train approaches from a nearby track and matches speed with Train 60. Both trains run side by side long enough for a temporary bridge to be secured between them. One by one, passengers and crew carefully cross over the rescue train. Within a short time, most of the people on board are safely evacuated. As the rescue operation nears its end, the high school teacher Sakura realizes that Yuzuki is missing. She returns to Train 60 from the rescue train, and Kagami and her secretary follow her, with Todoroki also joining them. On Train 60, Goto has woken up and is causing trouble, so Takaichi and Fuji struggle to control the situation. Kagami steps in and firmly stops Goto, bringing the situation under control. After things calm down, Takaichi, guided by Fuji, begins directing passengers toward the rescue train. At that moment, a mistake in the electrical adjustment causes the emergency brakes on the rescue train to activate. The workers try to detach the bridge between the trains, but the ropes become tangled, making it impossible to separate them. As a result, Train 60 also begins to slow down unexpectedly. To prevent a dangerous situation between the two trains, the driver makes a desperate decision to force a separation by using the emergency brakes and impact, aiming to break the connection between them. The plan succeeds, but Fuji is seriously injured by flying metal fragments from the impact. Soon, they find a shaken Yuzuki inside Train 60, and out of 349 crew members and passengers, 340 are rescued, but 9 people are still left on Train 60. At the command center, the Prime Minister's assistant urges them to repeat the same rescue operation, but the manager explains that is impossible now. Back in the train, Yuzuki says she will call her father and walks away from the group. She then calls her father, Mr. Onodera, who has been worried about her, and assures him that she is fine. It is revealed that Onodera was a police officer involved in the original train bombing case, and he believes the attackers have returned for revenge. However, Yuzuki suddenly begins insulting him and says she knows he did not kill the suspect in the original case, as the man had actually taken his own life. In a shocking twist, Yuzuki reveals that she herself planted the bomb to destroy the bullet train. Onodera refuses to believe her and asks how a small girl like her could build a bomb. Yuzuki tells him to check a cabinet in his house, and when he does, he is shocked to find a bomb inside. Yuzuki then presses a button on her phone, triggering the explosion, which destroys the house and kills her father as well. Having achieved her goal, Yuzuki returns to the group and calls the command center in front of Takaichi and the others, openly confessing that she is the culprit. Everyone is left in shock as she says she will now reveal how to defuse the bomb, since she has already accomplished what she wanted. She then reveals terrifying information. The bomb will only deactivate if she is killed. She explains that it is connected to a heart rate monitor inside her body, and the bomb will shut off only when it no longer detects a heartbeat. When the authorities demand proof, Yuzuki simply ends the call, leaving the passengers in complete shock. Following this, the authorities begin investigating Yuzuki's background and learn that her mother passed away a long time ago. It is also revealed that her father, Mr. Onodera, was a police officer involved in the infamous train incident. During that case, the suspect had actually killed himself in an explosion, but police higher-ups hid the truth and instead presented Onodera as a hero who had killed the criminal. Over time, Onodera began boasting about this so-called achievement, claiming he had saved the bullet train and many lives. However, he is also revealed to have been abusive toward his wife and even Yuzuki. The authorities then hack into Yuzuki's social media account, where they discover messages between her and an older man who helped her with the bomb. They immediately track him down and rush to his address to arrest him. Meanwhile, the train is now approaching Tokyo while still carrying the bomb. Yuzuki challenges the passengers, telling them that they must kill her if they want to save their lives, as there is no other option. Takaichi thus makes up his mind before he walks towards her and tries to strangle her. However, he stops eventually and instead hugs her, leaving Yuzuki deeply disappointed. Elsewhere, the older man who helped Yuzuki is under police interrogation, and it is revealed that he is the son of the perpetrator behind the 1975 train incident. He explains how abusive Mr. Onodera was toward Yuzuki and how he treated her as worthless for not being born a son. He admits that he also helped Yuzuki not just out of sympathy, but as revenge for how his father was dishonored after his death. He also reveals that the remaining bombs on Train 60 are planted in 3 locations, in cars 1, 4, and 6. Soon, the authorities relay the new information to Takaichi, Takaichi, and a final emergency plan is proposed. Link the Tokyo line with a nearby track so Train 60 can be separated before the bomb detonates. To carry out the operation, the commander of the control center gives a clear set of instructions. He tells the remaining passengers to move toward the back of the train, while engineers prepare to detach the front section where the bomb is located. The plan is to uncouple Train 60 while it is still moving and guide it toward the Washinomiya Maintenance Center. Even though the impact is expected to be severe, the passengers accept the plan and prepare themselves by securing their seats and gathering anything they can to protect themselves. The operation is carried out as planned, and as the train reaches the Washinomiya maintenance area, the tracks are switched in a controlled sequence, causing the train to split into two parts. The front section, which consists of cars 1 to 6, is separated from the rest and sent onto a different track, while cars 7 and 8 continue forward on the main line. As the front section slows down, the 3 bombs inside it explode one after another, destroying that part of the train. Meanwhile, cars 7 and 8 keep moving and cannot be stopped immediately. Car 8, which is carrying passengers and crew, crashes into the already derailed car 7, causing heavy damage. It then hits a roadside crash barrier and finally comes to a stop. In a tense atmosphere, the rescue team enters the 8th car and confirms that everyone is still alive, bringing relief and joy to the command center. Under the elevated tracks at Washinomiya Signal Station, Takaichi watches the rescue operation unfold. Yuzuki, who has been arrested and placed in an ambulance, is questioned by a police officer. From their conversation, he learns she deeply hates people and the world, so the officer shows her Todoroki's crowdfunding page, which has already reached its target. The bombs don't need to be defused anymore, but no refunds. He then suggests that people are not as cruel as she believes. Meanwhile, Fuji is taken to the hospital, while Takaichi and the driver Chika comfort each other at the scene. The movie then ends with both of them being warmly welcomed and applauded by the rest of the team.